Down is probably one of the more harder commands to teach, especially if the dog doesn't have a concept of it. Alrighty. For you. So it's easiest from a sitting position. We're at 66. We're going to go down to 40. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to use a couple of things. Put a little bit of leash pressure going down, and then on her back as well. I'm just going to go down. I'm not saying the word down, but she's pressing down.
She's getting lower.
Yeah.
She stiffens up when she's not sure.
Yeah. After a couple of reps, the first one's always the hardest. They get it.
Do you ever just pull their feet out from under them?
No.
Okay.
I've had people do it, but it doesn't really work.
Are you giving like good pressure on her back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good pressure on the remote.
Come on.
She's so resilient, man.
She is
And stubborn.
very stubborn.
Almost.
I can't watch this.
You don't happen to have treats, do you?
Nope.
I normally don't use them, but just to make life a little easier. Almost. Let up. Yeah. Wow, she's tough. Oh, Jesus. Would you do remote, please? Yeah. I'm gonna need a little more physical, so you'll just tap rhythmically. This isn't the first time I've had to do this. And a girl.
Oh my god. I had to look away. I couldn't watch.
We're gonna do a few more. The first few are always the hardest. There we go. And yep. 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 Yeah. And a girl. Good job. Last time I had to do this was with the Great Pyrenees.
Oh,
Yeah. It was.
you have
That
to
could
put
not
all
have
your
been
weight into it.
easy.
Yeah.
You need to be like 6'6" for that.
And a girl.
Good girl.
Girl. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. Yes.
Are you pushing on any certain spots or just on her back?
It's shoulders.
Shoulders? Okay.
Yeah, shoulders down and back. Not inside of the back. There's no support here.
Gotcha.
Girl. Girl. Break, break, break. Break, break, break.
I like how you're fighting it.
Girl. What are we at? 66? 60.
Good job.
Break. One more. We're going to give her a little rest. I don't need to go to the gym. Just train Pemba.
Good girl.
Much easier. That one was the easiest. So right now, what we're worried about is getting Pemba to be able to lay down through pressure easily. I don't care, once I get the behavior, I don't care about anything else. So like, I don't, like, this would be lay down, don't move for a period of time. But if it's difficult to get her to lay down in the first place, like, that's gonna be impossible. So I first worry about getting this done very easily. Her resistance is not out of the ordinary. I've had dogs, completely friendly dogs, become aggressive over this because you're using pressure to put them in the submissive position, essentially. So I never take it personally when I because almost like, oh my god, like my dog's aggressive. Like, nah, they're like, they just don't like being put under pressure into this kind of position. So that's why this is like one of the commands that I will use food to make the dog more comfortable, and we always praise to let them relax and let them like know, okay, it's okay. Like, you just need to follow this pressure. So we'll do a few more, and then once it's easy, and that last one was pretty good, but I'm trying to get it where it's like just a light touch of the finger, and she'll just go into that position. Then we'll shift over to you guys. Okay.
So she's shaking right now.
Yeah.
Is that stress?
Correct.
And do you incorporate a word?
We'll say down. Yeah. So once we get her going down easily, then we'll start to use it. Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, because we're using, I use quite a bit of physical pressure, and then of course remote pressure. Yep. Very good. Wait a moment. Yep. Yep. Go to 72 or 75. Better. So now we're transferring, and I'm not using as much physical pressure. We're going more so with the remote, so I can ease up on the physical. Potato.
That's what I call her.
Really?
Yeah.
One more. So, what we're going to do here is we're going to use 2 points of pressure. One is stepping on the leash, and I'm stepping around that little knot area to create the crook. And then in the beginning, I had, as you saw, put a lot of weight. I ideally don't like to do that because it's too much pressure because you have remote and you have physical. But because she's so solid, I needed to I needed to do something to get her to learn that when she goes in that down position, that the pressure does go away on the remote.
Yep.
Once we got that a few times, it was easier and easier. We compensate with the remote, a little bit more power, less of the physical. So it's literally, you should just like be able to touch her shoulders and you'll see, or even just like lightly step on the leash, and Pemba will go into that position, and then we're gonna start layering the word down. Okay? So, right. And you can just circle around, walk for a quick little half minute or so, just to get her mind off of those reps that we did.
Okay, Pemba, heel.
Good. Great. Good. So go ahead and let your leash go slack, and you'll just give yourself like maybe 4 to 6 feet. Yeah, it's fine. And you'll step on it kind of where that knot is, and you should feel like a little bit of tension because it's going to be pushing, pulling, or pushing down on her neck.
Right.
There you go. A little bit of pressure and tap. And relax. And praise. At a girl. Good. Good. We're gonna repeat that 4 times.
Okay, Pemba, break.
Almost. Right there. Good. And praise.
I think she responds better because it's Michael, or just like maybe she was tense because she doesn't know you as well.
Oh, for the down? Oh, the first one's always super hard. Yeah. That's why I asked if she knew down already, because if they learned it before with like food or something, it does make it a lot easier.
Nope.
So yeah, if this happens, this is okay. You're gonna lightly pull up and tap. There you go. And then relax. Good. And I'm gonna have you try here is going to just step on the leash, and we'll leave out the hand and just tap and see if she'll respond to just this. Right there. And praise.
Good girl. Good job.
Good. We'll do a 2 just like that last one. So as soon as I see it getting easier for the dog, I start to lay off the pressure and try to get it with as little as possible. So it's not always just, like manhandling. That's fine. And praise.
Ah. Learning.
And last one before a break.
Okay, break.
Add a girl.
Good
have to
girl.
No, I think she responded right away.
Yeah, I didn't tell.
Very good. So we'll let her rest for a moment, let her process all that stuff. So yeah, the first one is always the hardest. And knowing Pemba and just how resilient she is to the collar, that's why I did it, because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna need to do a lot more physical here. I typically start with very little physical and more remote to get the dog to do it, but we would still be here, like trying to teach it, like we'd still be in that phase. So I've done this long enough, and I've seen a couple of really difficult cases that I recognize as I should just start off with just giving you the remote and putting more body weight on it, because you can feel how much resistance and power she had when she was pushing back against me. So it's crazy. How much does she weigh?
50, 40.
49.
Sure, man, that's crazy. So now that we got that easier, we're gonna go ahead and start layering the word, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna flip things around. You'll do, a break, you'll do a little bit of a walk around, you'll say down, and you're gonna have your foot ready, and then tap first, and continue tapping to see if she responds to that, okay? If we see some confusion there, then you'd kick in with that, stepping on the leash to get her to connect the dots, okay?
Yep.
Questions? All right, whenever you're ready.
Okay, Pemba, break. Let's get you the tail. There you go. Break, heel.
tap, and praise.
Girl.
So did he need to use his hand like that?
That's okay for now. We'll do it for a couple, and then we'll start to wean away the hand signal. When I use down, I just say down, and then I don't do visuals.
That was necessary, or that helps.
Her face.
It's funny, sometimes she doesn't look pity to me, and then sometimes, I guess when she has her mouth like that, I'm like, okay.
I got a picture of Lexi upside down, and her ears looked pointed, so she looked like a bat, and the way her face was looking.
Okay, Pemba, break.
So we'll do one more with the hand, and we're gonna go straight to the vocal, or verbal.
Down.
That's fine. And a girl.
I wonder why she do you have an explanation of
Maybe to get closer. I mean, some dogs will spiral a bit before they do it.
Yeah.
I personally don't mind it as long as they just do it as like quickly.
Yeah.
Good girl.
Good job.
All right.
You're learning quickly. You have to teach Nabali. Okay, Pemba, break.
Might have to give her like 5 trazodone.
Yeah, right. So I actually got her Prozac up, and they said to do more trazodone for travel. Oh my god.
Right. So then light pull up, tap, good, and then relax a moment. Tap, up, tap, 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 and relax. Good. Wait a moment. So here, just the verbal cue, and then the tap.
Pemba, down. Down.
Tap, 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 tap. And as you're tapping, leash pressure. Try with your foot. And brace.
Good girl.
She's like stubborn, but then she learns and does it right away.
Yeah, and I think maybe there may have not been good contact because when she felt it, she like booked it. Good. Do a few more.
Well, and I think she notices the visual cue of me stepping on the leash too.
So yeah.
Okay, break. Come on.
Right. Good. Right. Good.
Okay, Pemba, down. Down.
Tap. Tap. Add a girl. Brace. Brace. Brace.
Job. Good girl.
Good.
Again.
Yep, break, and then one more. And this next one, we're gonna keep her in the down. Then I'll talk about like practicing and stuff. Give her a little bit of a rest. And then, did you want to try it with her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Pemba, break. Pemba, down.
Beautiful.
Good
Good
girl.
girl.
I was actually looking for the button. I didn't even have a chance.
You have a chance? Yeah, no, she did really. I could see right when you said down where her brain started working. Very good. So, you have 2 stationary commands. You have the place, which we covered a couple of lessons ago, and now the down. Place, lenient, just go here, stay within the perimeter. I don't care if you sit, stand, lay down, play with a toy, chew on a bone, whatever. Don't get off of the area. Down is more specific. It's that, right? So there's no sitting up, there's no standing up. I don't care how the dog lays down, on their back, on their side, in the, formal down, whatever. I just care that they hold it for a period of time.
So what if they get up and like reposition themselves and dig and burrow?
That's a very good question. So like Lexi will down for like ever. And she'll get up sometimes and she'll like circle around and then lay back down and then not move. So I let it go because I know she's just repositioning.
Yeah.
However, so I go by the personality type. Anytime there's like little gray areas like that, I always go by the dog. And some dogs, they'll get up and like kind of spiral around, and next thing you know, they go to and hop up on the couch.
Right.
So then, yeah.
Mandible.
So if that's her pattern, then I would correct that. Okay, if she gets up, spirals, and lays back down, I don't care. This is just family pet obedience. And if it's like if you're going to be here for 3 hours and not move, and you have to reposition, I get it. So I just play it by ear. So we don't say stay. It's implied with the command itself. So you would use this if you don't have a placemat with you, or whatever, and you need them to be, or need her to be stationary and not move. Easiest way to go about this in the beginning is you down her at your feet, you step on the leash, and then this way, if you feel her move it, you'll feel the tug on your foot in case she starts moving. That tells me I need to correct her. It's almost identical to place, except it's more strict.
Right, and the position's more important.
Exactly. So right off the bat, because you have two aspects. So with the place, we had the send, and then we worked on the don't move. Here it's the same thing, except it's the go into position, and then there's the don't move. So the downing exercise that we did now, 2 times a day, 2 to 3 minutes. Just to make it, we were looking at for it to be like that, where you said down and it was a straight down, okay? I would prefer a more direct down. I don't mind the movement so much, but then that can lead to other things where like she'll get up and move in front of you, and next thing you know, she's walking all around you, and it becomes a little bit of a game. But if it's a more direct, when I say down, you just go into position, less of a hassle, okay? And that you can do 30 minutes today, you could do 2 hours tomorrow. You know, you're just gonna have to reinforce in the beginning. The place and the down command, the stay factor, in my opinion, does overlap. You know, so if I have a client who's been really drilling out the place command, and then they would teach the down command, after a couple of corrections of the down, like the dog would just pick up like, oh, okay, I don't move for X period of time, okay?
She did really well with bed, as we put it, in Michigan.
Good.
So, and like for good periods of time with a lot of distractions. So
Very good.
I think she'll get better.
You ready, Jen? You can use your hand too instead of your foot if you don't want to do your
I don't.
boot foot.
Have a break.
How much longer do you have with it?
Oh my god, I was just telling Mike on the way here. My doctor's kind of useless, so my chiropractor's taking it over. My doctor's like, yeah, you can hike and stuff, but any other time on your trip,
Have the boot?
have the boot. So my chiropractor's like, just wear it another month, because I've already been wearing it for 2 months, plus 3 months earlier this year. So it's been a long.
And relax.
What do I do?
So now you're going to say down,
Down.
tap, tap, and praise.
Good girl.
See, I had another client who tripped on her dog's toy when she was doing a home workout during quarantine, and then broke her foot. So then she had the boot, and then something else, and it was like after 6 weeks, she's like back to.
So mine is not even a break. It's just the bone is soft. And so it was here, and then this one healed, and then I started running again, and this one apparently never healed.
Interesting.
And it's just, my doctor's just shit. Have a break. Heal. Girl.
I was talking to a friend of mine, I was like, about dog trainers and stuff.
Up.
Right, good. And you're gonna cue your down. Little scoot, that's fine.
Good girl.
And so I had one of my dog trainers do some research, and we have tons of content. Nobody is even near what we have
Really?
on like social media and stuff.
Nice.
And I keep getting other trainers dogs, and I'm like, don't people like take this into consideration? Like there's like some trainers I get all the time that have nothing but like a piece of paper that says they're like certified. And I don't have a certification intentionally to show people like it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. It's probably like PetSmart trainers.
Yeah, oh yeah, you get certified there too. But then we started talking about doctors. I'm like, yeah, just because they're a doctor doesn't mean they're a good doctor.
This is my second one, too.
Oh, wow.
The first one actually misdiagnosed me with osteopenia and was useless, so I went to a new doctor, and he's useless, too. Okay, have a break.
You go see House.
Well, that's not a real doctor.
I love that show though.
It is a great show.
Down.
Praise.
Good job. You're learning so fast.
On this next one, I'm gonna have you do it, and I'm gonna have you actually shorten the leash to about here, and you're just gonna hold it to anchor her in place. And I wanna see how she responds.
Before I say down?
Correct, you're gonna have it shortened, so when you say down, we're just limiting her range of motion.
So she doesn't have as much room to move.
Correct, yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Because if, like, let's say you sit down at a table or something,
Yeah.
and it's like, we
She's
need a
like
more
those
direct
lays by
down.
the other people or
Yeah, yeah.
Pemba, break. Heel.
Right, wait a moment. Tap. Wait a moment. Tap. Right, tap. Wait, yep. Good job.
Like here?
Yep.
Now do I hold it tight? Like don't let her go down? Or
You're gonna,
just-
no, you're gonna let her go down. We're just shortening it so she can't move.
Got it. Pemba down.
Right, tap, tap. Better.
Good girl.
We'll do one more, we're gonna do the same thing. So like if we have to down her and need a more direct down, we have something that we can limit her.
Yeah. Pemba, break. Heel. Pemba down. Down. Sorry.
Okay, tap, 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 tap. And
And
praise.
I'm not helping because I just like moved my arm.
It's okay. All right, good.
Good girl.
And I'm making this simple. I just want the down. I don't need it to look any specific way.
Right.
I just care about function. So yeah, this 2 to 3 minutes a day. I'd suggest when you do it, limiting her range of motion so we don't reinforce that habit. I was hoping it would just kind of go away as the more you down her and the more, the better of a concept she has of the command, it should become more direct. But in case, we'll be shortening it so that we have a more instant down, and you would just simply counter her. So if she forges forward, you would just pull back. That's the exception, because with walking, I would tell you never pull back, always pull up or turn. But in this case, because you're trying to prevent her from forging forward, you can pull back, okay? So this command, super simple to practice, just like the place command. Whenever you're not gonna be doing anything, if you're gonna be stationary, down at your feet, step on the leash, and then just let her be there for however long you need it for, okay? Same concept of, if you know you're gonna be applying it where there's gonna be a lot going on for like an hour and a half, you wanna practice it in the home or in a less, in the easier environment, at least 2 hours, if not a little bit more, to kind of compensate for that extra distraction that you're gonna have in a real life scenario. When it comes to using the leash pressure or the hand pressure, I only incorporate it when the dog looks panicked or confused. So we use it to teach it because she's not gonna guess what to do, right?
Right.
Once she's got down, like, oh, if I just go into this position, it goes away. Maybe you're too high on the remote. Maybe she didn't hear you. Maybe you're going up as you're trying to make her lay down and she starts to panic a bit. As most people tend to reset or reposition, I work the dog through it, where I'll shorten the leash and then bring in that hand pressure subtly to guide them. It's kind of like the grip to reality of like, hey, and they're like, oh, I remember this. And it's a little bit more direction, so you get them to figure it out through the confusion of the panic, okay? Questions about this?
Yeah, so, and she doesn't have as much of an ability to do it because of the way that she goes down.
Sure.
Molly, when she lays down, not under command, but her typical, she's sort of, more like her paws are in front of her.
Yeah,
like
she lays on her stomach.
She's ready to go.
She's
and
sploot?
she will, start inching
Oh,
forward.
sure, yeah, the army crawl.
So I assume that we want to
Correct that. Sure. So you would remote that, and then you'd most likely see the Polly pop up out of position because she's like, "What was that for?" And then you would keep remoting,
until she
grab the leash,
goes back
and you'd want to do it on a leash first because if she's off leash and you're remoting, she can go,
Yeah.
right? So then if she starts army crawling, I correct her. She gets up, I keep tapping, I grab her leash, guide her back down into position, and then as soon as she goes down, I relax the pressure, walk away, because she will learn that the tap means do not crawl. But it's gonna end up with a mistake in the beginning, and then you reposition her, so she goes, oh, that tap wasn't for laying down, the tap was for the movement while laying down.
Right.
Okay, so it's like if a dog barks on place and you correct them on place, they tend to hop off. So then I keep correcting them until they hop back on place, and then they have to decipher, like, why did that happen?
Yep.
Okay, and they figure it out. It just takes repetition. Usually by like in my experience, the 3rd to 5th time, they pick it up. Where they're like, oh, that tap meant to stop what I was doing, not break out of position. Okay, other questions?
No, this is over.
Let's try a couple of more. And then what's your number right now?
75.
Okay.
Have a break. Heel.
Let's see.
I feel like she's really cleared the debris. Have it down. Oh, sorry, I wasn't doing it right. Jeez.
It's okay. We'll try on the next one. We'll bring it back again. Enrique has your address.
I sent it to him, yeah.
Okay.
I emailed
Just
it.
checking.
Right. Heel.
Because I sent them places and not give them the address.
That's fine.
So.
Kind of his fault, too.
Have it down.
Yep. There you go. It's better.
Good.
We'll try one more like that.
Okay, break. Heel. I keep you need to go the other
Tap, 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 tap. There you go. Wait a moment. Good.
Have it down.
Yep. Almost. Add a girl.
Good. Girl.
And before I forget, do you know why there's a little bit of confusion there?
I think she thinks that she's supposed to be laying down.
Well, yeah. So she's picked up that pattern, right? But then, so since she's done that, we've been countering her with corrections, going, "You don't lay down
Yeah.
unless I cue you down." So then she's got to decipher between sitting and laying down. Does that make sense?
Well, and also like because we tap her to go down, so then it's like we're tapping her to sit up.
Yes.
So she's like, well, I thought that's meant lay down. Yeah.
Right. So we'll do a quick little exercise here. I call it, or it's called puppy push-ups. Have you ever seen that? Where you make a dog sitting down back and forth?
Nope.
So you can stay where you are. On your leash, go in and grab it. Right, that's good. And then you're gonna go and cue the word sit.
Sit.
And up, tap, 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 tap. What's your number?
75.
Let's go to 80. And I'm gonna have you use less physical, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
So light up, tap,
Up.
tap, tap, tap. Relax a moment. Good. So you want the remote to make Pemba go in position. The leash is merely a guide. And then you're gonna go in and cue the word down.
Down.
Tap. Right, tap,
Should I guide her or no?
tap. We'll try the leash pressure. There we go. There she is. Atta girl.
Good girl.
And then a light pull up. Tap. Sit. I'm sorry.
Sit.
There you go. And good girl.
Good girl.
Dirt.
Hey, my nail. Down.
Yep. Tap, 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 tap. Now a little bit of leash or hand pressure. Yep. Tap, 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 tap. Up, up tap, and then position yourself beside her. It'll be easier. There you go. And there you go. Good. And then hand pressure.
Say down first.
No, you can just down, pan and tap.
Down.
And praise.
Good
Good. So you can see the confusion there, right?
Good job.
Because she's like,
Yeah,
I know.
I'm
She's
confused
like,
too.
so it's trying to teach her that when you hear one of these cues, do this, right? So it's 50-50.
But learn the cue.
Yeah, you know, it's 50-50. So we call this puppy push-ups. So this helps her decipher the difference between the sit and the down.
Yeah.
So this exercise, 2 to 3 minutes a day. It's super. So when we do redundant things, I always just do it really short. Because imagine someone just telling you to sit and stand, right? It's gonna be annoying. I actually did that once with a client, and they got super pissed off because I was trying to convey to them how the dog feels. You know, I was like, there are a living being. Yes, we want control, but at the same time, this shit's annoying, right? And they got pissed about
It's
it.
like doing a boot camp class.
Yeah, you know. So yeah, so that in itself, 2 to 3 minutes. And then once you feel like she's got a really good concept of those individual words, you can stop doing the exercises. You would just apply it, okay? For me, heel is the most used command. Recall is the most important command. Get your dog back. Place her down is like the third in terms of importance. And then sit and stay tend to be like end of the spectrum. Like people don't use them that much. Because I teach everything as a default. Like when you're walking, you get the auto sits. When you call your dog, it's an auto sit. You know, so we have all these default behaviors that saying sit doesn't really have any purpose.
Yeah.
But now you have the 6 commands to practice and work with when you're on your trip.
Cool.
Okay? Questions?
No, this has been so great.
Excellent.
We've seen, I mean, we keep telling we've seen such a difference, but like just now when you were talking about that, like I was saying, like she's gotten good at the word come.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's just doing so well. So this has been awesome. Thank you, Jesse.
Just gonna fall asleep. Yeah, you're welcome.
I know
If-
they're gonna be so tired today after Enrique's comes over.
Oh
too.
yeah, he's gonna zonk out.
So.
If anything pops up, you just let us know.